question to ask Mr. Williams.
Very well. Proceed.
What is the reasoning for my being here under such circumstances?
As if you didn't know.
Beg your pardon?
Do not play coy with me, Mrs. Jacobs. You knew your pact with Satan would lead you to be here.
Silence, both of you! You both will have time to speak. However, you will remain silent until such time. Now, to answer your question, Mrs. Jacobs, Mr. Adams will present the case against you.
Mrs. Jacobs, you are accused of practicing witchcraft and allowing yourself to be influenced by Satan.
What?
Admit it, Matthew. Your wife is in league with Satan. As far as we know, so are you.
This is ridiculous! I agree with Mr. Hudson. How can someone live with another who is under the influence of Satan and not be under the influence himself?
What are you implying, Cornelius?
I believe that's not only Mrs. Jacobs, but also Matthew Jacobs is under the influence of Satan.
How dare you!
I wasn't...
Silence, Matthew, sit down! As for you, Mr. Raymond, accusations such as that cannot be made by members of this court. Should you share your thoughts with us again without my consent, you will be removed and punishment will be dealt out in which way I see fit. Do I make myself clear? Good. As for the rest of you, you will be treated the same way if these outbursts continue. Now then, Mr. Hudson, please describe what happened.
Yes. It was after supper, and I heard my daughter groaning. I saw her fall to the floor. I ran to her and saw it, but that's when I saw Anne's spirit in the window, so it must have been her.
Isn't it also true, Mrs. Jacobs, that you had 3 attempts at bearing a child, and they were all stillbirths?
Well, I hardly consider John's story the truth as my spirit, as he puts it, would stay with me, but yes, I have not been able to bear a child.
Do you confess to coinciding with the devil?
I do not.
You do realize that you will be hanged if you do not confess, don't you?
I will not confess a sin I would not, could not, and have not done.
Very well then, Mrs. Jacobs. You will be kept in confinement tonight to reassess your situation. Tomorrow you will be hanged unless you confess to witchcraft. We are now adjourned.
Mrs. Jacobs, you have been given the night and counsel of your husband. Have you made a decision?
I have.
Do you confess to committing witchcraft?
I do not.
Very well then.
Wait! Ha! Tempter, methinks thou art too late.
Hold on, Cornelius. Let him speak.
My wife has been wrongfully accused.
In what way, Mr. Jacobs?
Mr. Hudson took advantage of his daughter's sudden illness to accuse my wife of witchcraft so she would be hung and could gain our land.
That is utter nonsense, Matthew.
He's right. Why would he go through the trouble of accusing your wife when you own your own land, Mr. Jacobs?
During the trial, Mr. Hudson implied that I also was influenced by Satan. He was hoping for there to be a pair of nooses this day.
Mr. Jacobs, you are protecting a witch. You must clearly be under the control of Satan.
You're someone to talk.
What?
You are conspiring with John Hudson.
You best watch yourself, Mr. Jacobs.
Were you the one who so gallantly proposed that both Anne and I be hung in order to protect the village?
Well,
You were working with John Hudson the entire time!
Lies! Lies and slander!
Silence, please! Mr. Jacobs, the information will be looked into. However, during the night, Mr. Hudson's daughter passed away. The threat of Satan has never been so prevalent. The safeguard of this village, of these people of God, takes priority. Mrs. Jacobs will be hung today lest she confess her sins and give homage to the Hudsons.
It is mine, it's God's judgment, not man's, but I was determined to pay.
Then may God have mercy on your soul.
This was a witch hunt, making a note here, 19 hanged. It's hard to day I'm in accused. Puritan lifestyles. We kill who we must because they sin. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are next. But there's no sense crying over every hanged witch. You just keep on trying till you fill up a ditch, and the trial gets done, and the hanging has begun for the witches who are still alive. I'm not even angry, I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart, accused me and sent me to Jesus, and banish yourselves to burn in fire. As I hung, it hurt because I felt so sorry for you. Cause the point I'm making is that now when you die, your deceit and murder will keep you from the sky. So I'm dead, I got hanged. Think of all the church's shame when they're preaching to those still alive. Go ahead and hang me. I think I prefer to not repent. Maybe you'll find someone else, a real witch. Maybe Becca Nurse. That was a joke, haha, fat chance. Anyway, this witch cake's great. It's made of rye bread and pea. Look at me, still talking when there's hanging to do. When I look up there, it makes me glad I'm not you. I've got government to run. Hanging witches can be fun for the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. I'm doing witchcraft and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. And when you're dying, I'll be still alive. And when you're dead, I'll